Hi guys, Travis here on day 2, week 11. The door just opened. I don't know what's happening. At the LCS with Dexter from CLG. Dexter, you got to become a pretty good jungler at some point in time. While I was gone, I saw you play against TSM, and you made some good plays. When did you get so good?
I did a Lee boot camp for 2 days and then just played him and yeah, worked out okay for us.
Is that like so? Do you have to pay like a $40 fee to get into that boot camp?
Well, now it's probably more because after the TSM game, everyone wants it, So so it's up to like 200 or 300 maybe. So
Jeez, they're making bank. Pimping ain't easy. So let's discuss the games today. The first one was against Curse, and that was somewhat contentious because you guys did not see like okay, what was the deal with the bans?
there was no deal with the bans. We just knew that we just want to ban out Heimerdinger because we practiced it against them and they played it. And when I ganked the lane, top lane, I was like, okay, let's gank Heimerdinger. And he just killed me and Nian together, 1-on-2. While he survives and spammed love, I was like, okay, we're not gonna play against that champion. So we just banned it out, and then we're like, okay, we want to have two good picks. What should we ban? And we're like, okay, we're not afraid of anything what they play. We have no idea what they play or what they want. So we just do like two random bans and get two OP picks in return, which we got. We got the Kazakhs, and I don't know what we first picked. I think uh, Kazakhs and Thresh, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so it was kind of like that purple side deal where you want the double picks.
Usually, the thing is, we usually try to outban people on purple and give them one OP, but then we don't really take anything in return, but rather ban out everything. And this game, we just tried it out to just leave off everything and see what Curse wants to prioritize. And the thing is, the game didn't really matter, right, for the standings. So we were like, okay, we need to try out new strategies, and LCS is the best way to practice champions and everything. So we were like, okay, we just gonna ban out a new drafting strategy and see how it goes because we think we need it against CN9 and TSM in the playoffs. So we're like, okay, we're not gonna ban anything. Let's see what they want to have, and let's play against everything. So
Even then, the game seemed a little bit sloppier in comparison to some of the games that you guys had been playing. Was there any element to the fact that like the game quote unquote didn't matter for your guys' placing that came into effect there?
not really. Like we tried. We just the thing is, we don't really care about the outcome of the game. That's true, but we care about the practice we get out of it. And out of the C9 game, even when we lost it, we got probably more out of any other game in LCS because we got information on what they want to pick and what they want to prioritize. So it's the same with Curse actually, but we didn't get much out of it because we probably don't even play them in playoffs. I think we play Coast. But the thing is, we need to be prepared for, and we need to work on our drafting skills. Like I think the only time we lost against TSM and C9 was when we got outcomped, and when we had the better picks in jungle, we won against TSM. And at one point, we were like so annoyed that we have the weaker drafting, so we have to try something new. And the only way to beat them is to catch them off guard, maybe with bans and picks and first picks, and maybe on purple something else. But if you just pick standard, then we probably won't win because they will just always prepare and predict it and have like every scenario planned out. Like Lemon's notebook, I see it. He's like has written everything down. So yeah, that's how our thought process was going into this week. We had no pressure on this game, so we didn't really care about like losing or winning. We were just going into with the mindset into the week that it doesn't matter the outcome of the game as long as we get really good practice out of it and practice stuff we want to play in playoffs maybe.
So you feel like you were able to game, even though you lost the Curse match, you were able to do that. Is there a chance that if you didn't want to practice and try out new things in that match, that you guys could have like, quote unquote, try harded it more and beat them?
It's hard to say. Like I don't want to down talk anyone, but I think if we just went with our strategy and pick our comfort picks, I think the game would have been a different turn. Like we would have probably won the game. But we're like, okay, we're just gonna. We actually had comfort picks. That's not even a thing to say. We had Kazakhs. I like Kazakhs. Like we had Afro, Thresh, and we tried out Shen. We've been practicing Shen. Like we couldn't really pull it out yet, but we're like, okay, we finally got the Kazakhs pick. Let's pick Shen as well, and it didn't really work out that well. But yeah, in general, I think if we would just focused more and prepared more for picking and banning properly, then we would have probably maybe won the game. But who knows? Like everything can happen. On a bad day, you just play bad, and Curse played really well. But yeah,
All right, so other than that, you guys, well, you had the EG game, and you guys seemed to do significantly better in that game. What was the big difference between the two? Is Curse just significantly better than EG, or did you guys try to approach it a little bit more for a win rather than a practice, or what was the difference?
I would say that we approach it more as a win instead of practice. Like I was so salty after those two losses. Like I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like we really need to win. I'm gonna play Lee Sin, okay, guys?
Yeah.
Come on my back. I'm gonna carry the 1-5, and then I did it. Nah, but we wanted to get the win really badly because we're like, okay, we are 0-2. That looks really bad. Like I can't really imagine if we would have finished the week 1-3, even if it doesn't matter. It's still like all I care about is winning.
Yeah.
I don't really care about anything else but winning. And if I go negative in a week, in a super week, then I will be really pissed. And I was like, okay, guys, let's win. I made the picks and bans before the game. I was like, okay, we do this. Everyone, please try hard. I want to win. And then we won the game. And in terms of skill comparison, I think there's not much that the bottom 5 teams like Coast, Curse, Dignitas, different. Like they don't really do much different. But I think Curse is a bit better than EG, even if it's only laning phase. But they are better. They're better.
I've heard in several different interviews that it seems as though, like for in this instance, you were like, I want to win this. I'm going to do the picks and bans and all that kind of thing. It seems like more and more you, since you've joined CLG, are taking more of a commanding role. Is that fair to say? Is that you might be slowly transitioning over to like more of like a team captain role?
Well, we kind of figured out what we want to do, and right now, me, Link, and Afro are the shot callers. Like we divided it equally, and I'm doing the early game part. I'm gonna do timers, and I'm gonna do objectives, and usually Afromu and Link take care of wave control because we are really like we are a team that if you have the advantage, if you see us move around the map, we're actually decent at the game. So that's what they're doing, and Link is the late game shot caller, which objectives we have to contest in late game. And usually, if we play against a really good team, then it's not about like you can't just take every objective without giving up something in return. And then Link is the one who values like objectives, and it's like okay, guys, we're gonna give up 1 tower, and in return we get blue buff and the tier 2 tower or something. And that's how we value things. And Link is really good at that. So right now, me, Afro, and Link are doing a really good job, and me and Afro actually have like okay synergy. Like bot lane is perfect usually, I think, and usually what happens at bot lane is like we crush 3-on-3, so that's pretty good. And I think me and Link have to work on a lot of things in this week in order to beat TSM and C9. So I might have to play a lot of solo queue for the new patch, and yeah.
Well, even outside of the game, like I know you guys are doing like the shot calling there, but I've seen you even tweet things like, "I want to make sure people aren't playing video games or whatever." You seem to have like the more serious, like, almost like parental kind of like, "I'm going to keep everybody in line" kind of deal. Is that sort of what's happened?
Well, as soon as I installed Diablo 3, I didn't really do it. No. But yeah, I was like, guys, can we please uninstall Diablo or something? I mean, no one can, like, I can try, but in reality, it's like if you have a balance, like if we know that scrims are going well, we get practice out of it, and we actually get better at the game, then it's not a big deal to play like Diablo or something as to balance out, because I think me and Peter are the only two that work out at the gym. And the others are like, okay, we're just gonna play Diablo 3. Like, no one wants to play solo queue at the moment because, like, we have to play solo queue again because of the patch. Yeah, we need to spam solo queue. Like, I really hope that we stop playing Diablo for like 2 weeks, and then hopefully we can go to Paris, and then after that we can play enough Diablo. But yeah, the thing is, it's such a big change, so it is mandatory to play solo queue. And even after scrims, even if you have a bad day, you have to play solo queue no matter what happens, because you need to keep up with all the changes, and you need to actually figure out what's good. And I think C9 is really, really good at adapting to new patches. TSM is not so good at it because they are kind of. I mean, this patch actually showed that they have weaknesses, and they didn't adapt fast enough. And C9 was like day one. They had like the perfect level 1. We scrimmed them, and we got outplayed, and we learned from them. Yeah. And I just wish that we practice hard enough to just beat them in playoffs and TSM, because we have to beat both of them. So yeah.
Final question. My video producer has a bet right now for who's going to get first blood in this game, TSM or C9. It's now 10 minutes and nobody has died yet. Who do you think is going to get first blood?
I think Odd One will maybe feed first blood.
Okay, so Odd One will die and Cloud9 will get the first blood.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Well, right now it looks like High might die.
he's just baiting. He's just baiting.
Okay.
You see? Okay. Everything's easy. No, but I think C9 will easily win this game. The thing is, if you don't get a lead against C9, they will just out strategic. Like, there's no way that you can just outplay them in like a strategic way, because they're really good and they usually have like really strong drafting too for team fights. And I'm pretty sure that TSM is like weaker strategically wise, and they're stronger in lane probably on every lane, but strategically wise, I think C9 has like the upper hand, and they are probably like really, really good at the moment. So, yeah.
You have any shoutouts, plugs, anything you want to say here at the end?
Yeah, sure. To our sponsors, Azubu, NZXT, iBuyPower, and Razer. So, yeah.
Very good. It looks like TSM Dyrus is gonna get away here. Not gonna die. GG. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of the LCS and more. Everything headed into playoffs and all that kind of fun esports content, news, features, etc. at ongamers.com.